कृपाभरौ भुवि भुव भारावहन्तारकौ वन्दे रूपसनातन रघुजुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ वन्दे रूपसनातन रघुजुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ कृष्ण कीर्तन गान कृष्ण कीर्तन गान नर्तन परम प्रेम वीर वीर जन प्रिय प्रिय करो श्री चैतन्य कृपा भरौ कृपा भरौ भुवि भुव मानव अंतरकौ वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुजुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ विचारणैकनिपुणं सद्धर्म संस्थापकौ लोकानां हितकारिणं त्रिभुवने मन्नं शरण करो
Hare Krishna, 晚安。
Hare Krishna 说晚安。
So we continue with our simple study of the Nectar of Devotion.
所以我们今天继续来进行我们的对于奉爱的甘露的简单的学习。
And we all always and remain eternally indebted to our beloved Srila Prabhupada.
我们永远都亏欠于我们挚爱的 Srila Prabhupada，
Because he mercifully taught us by his own perfect example how to serve Krishna with love and devotion.
因为他非常仁慈的以他自己以身作则的教导来教导我们如何服务于我们所挚爱的 Sri Krishna。
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prasharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashata Deshatarine. Srila Prabhupada kindly gave us a summary, the Nectar of Devotion, which is a summary of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
Srila Prabhupada 他非常仁慈的为我们提供了 Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 的摘要著作《奉爱的甘露》。
Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is the work, the compilation of Srila Rupa Goswami.
Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 奉爱的甘露之阳呢，是由 Srila Rupa Goswami 所著的，
under the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
是在 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 的训示之下所做的。
Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupakada Mayam Dadati Svapadantikam. Srila Rupa Goswami is the leader of the 6 Goswamis, our eternal Shiksha Gurus.
Srila Rupa Goswami 是所有的6位 Goswami 中的领袖，他是我们永恒的 Shiksha Guru 训示灵性导师。
Panchakalpa Tarubhyacha Kripa Sindhubhyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Under the guidance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they wrote extensively about this wonderful science of loving devotion.
在 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 的训示之下，他们广泛的注写了关于 Krishna 知觉的奉爱的科学的书籍。
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the original teacher of this loving science of devotion.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 是这充满着爱的奉爱的科学的最原初的老师。
He came to this material world to relish it and to distribute it to all the very fortunate souls of this Kali Yuga.
那么他来到这个物质世界呢，是为了品味这个奉爱服务，以及呢，把这奉爱服务的这个礼物献给所有，就是送给在卡利年代的非常的幸运的灵魂们。
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. And Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha and Krishna combined.
而 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢，他是 Radha 和 Krishna 的合并体。
Radha and Krishna is the highest expression of love of God.
那么 Radha 和 Krishna 呢，是对于神爱的最高的表达方式。
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So let's say one of the prayers to the 6 Goswamis.
我们现在来读一读对于6位 Goswami 的其中的一首祷文。我前进的顶拜圣 Rupa Goswami、圣 Sanatana Goswami、圣 Raghunath Bhatta Goswami、圣 Raghunath Das Goswami、圣 Jiva Goswami 和圣 Gopala Bhatta Goswami 这6位 Goswami， 他们精于为利益全人类而建立永恒的宗教原则，去深入研究所有的启示经典，因此受到了3个世界的尊敬。他们全神贯注于牧牛姑娘的心境，忙于为圣 Radha 和 Krishna 做超人的爱心服务，因此值得人们去寻求保護。
Nana Shastra Vicharaneka Nipuno Sadharma Samstapako Lokanamita Karino Tribhuvane Manyo Sharanyakaro Radha Krishna Padara Vinda Vajana Nandena Mataliko Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Sri Jiva Gopalako Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Sri Jiva Gopalako. We want to attain the highest goal of life.
我们想要达到最高的生活的目标。
We are very, very, very ambitious.
我们非常，就是我们是雄心壮志的。
We want to attain pure love of Krishna.
我们希望能够得到对 Sri Krishna 的纯爱，我们需要达到对 Krishna 的纯爱。
So in order to attain pure love of Krishna, we need to practice perfectly pure devotional service.
但是为了要达到对 Sri Krishna 的纯爱，我们就必须要习练对 Sri Krishna 的纯粹的奉爱服务。
So, and in order to practice perfectly pure devotional service, we need to know very clearly what pure devotional service is, what pure devotional service is not.
但是为了要能够 为 Sri Krishna 做纯粹的奉爱服务，我们就必须要知道什么是纯粹的奉爱服务，什么不是纯粹的奉爱服务。
Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadhyanavritam anukulyena Krishna anushilanam bhaktir uttama. Pure devotional service is
纯粹的奉爱服务是为了取悦 Krishna 的活动，既没有隐秘的动机，也没有哲学思辨和功利性活动的污染。
keep it in your hearts and lock it in your hearts.
我们一定要把这个，就刚才我们念的这个定义，要锁在我们的内心里。
So some review.
我们现在来这个复习一下。
The only qualification to begin devotional service is the mercy of a devotee, which enthuses us with an attraction to the Supreme Lord.
就是要从事奉爱服务的唯一的资质，就在于能够就是这个有奉献者激发我们去产生对至尊主的吸引。
The qualification to advance in Vedic sadhana bhakti depends upon the maturity of our knowledge and faith in the scriptures.
但是呢，在 Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti 中的进步呢，它这个资格是取决于我们对经典的知识和信息的成熟度。
And the qualification for practicing pure devotional service is that we should be free from the bodily concept of life, and we should abandon all other desires, especially the desire for liberation, and only please Krishna.
那纯粹的奉爱服务的资格呢，是摒除了躯体化的生命概念，觉悟到人应该放下所有种类的欲望，特别是解脱的欲望，只为取悦 Krishna 而努力。
These are three very important statements.
所以这是3个非常重要的陈述。
Should always remember, and particularly that we should only endeavor to please Krishna.
所以呢，我们总要记住这3条。那我们特别要努力的一点呢，就是总要记住 Krishna。
This is our goal.
总要记住去取悦 Krishna。Sorry.
Yes, this is our goal.
那么这个呢是我们的目标。
To please Krishna.
要取悦 Krishna。
Because to please Krishna through pure devotional service is the highest form of love.
因为呢，取悦 Krishna，做纯粹的奉爱服务是最高形式的爱。
So we have been studying the chapter 6, how to discharge devotional service.
那我们呢现在学的是第6章，如何做奉爱服务。
And you came to the point we studied the nama-paradas, the offenses in the chanting of the holy name.
那我们也接触到了 nama aparad， 也就是在念诵圣名的时候的冒犯。
And we went through a very long list of offenses in deity worship.
然后呢，我们还看到了一个很长的一个列单，这个列单呢就是关于我们在从事神像服务的时候所做的冒犯。
These are part of the 10 items that we should avoid.
那这些呢都是属于那10项我们应该避免的事情。
As long as we are committing offenses, we certainly cannot develop pure love for Krishna.
因为只要我们还在做冒犯，我们就没有办法得到对 Sri Krishna 的纯爱。
And we give the most stress to blasphemy.
那然后呢，我们最强调的一点呢，就是关于亵渎这件事情。
Blaspheming the devotees of the Lord.
亵渎主的奉献者。
It's a very, very, very serious offense.
那这是一个非常非常严重的冒犯。
If we remember, we said we should not become close to those who hate the person we want to love. This was the 11th item, or the first item of things to avoid.
那我们还记得就是这第11条，也就是我们需要避免的事情的第1条， 这第一条是什么呢？就是不要接近那些仇恨你想要爱的人。
And the last item, which corresponds to the 20, 11 and 20. The 20 that we should be very intolerant towards the blasphemy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, or his devotees, who should not tolerate.
然后第20条呢，就是对那些亵渎了至尊人格守神 Krishna 和他的奉献者的人，我们可完全不要容忍。
We remember the story of Haridas Thakur, how he was being beaten by the Muslim guards in the marketplaces in front of everyone, so they could see what happened when a Muslim changed his faith.
我们还记得哈尔达斯塔库尔他如何被穆斯林的打手在这个就是在这个市场上被鞭笞。那么当时呢，有很多人都在围观，所有的这些人呢都想看看这个穆斯林通过打他如何让他改变他的信仰。
So the Supreme Lord could not tolerate that.
那是至尊主是没有办法容忍这一点的。
Because he cannot tolerate that anybody hurts or offends his devotee.
因为呢，至尊主他没有办法容忍任何一个人伤害或者是亵渎他的奉献者。
So he was immediately going to send his Sudarshana Chakra to kill all these Muslims guards who were beating Haridas Thakur.
所以说呢，主他立刻就发出了他的 Sudarshan Chakra， 他的神蝶，去杀死了这些就是这个打 Haridas Thakur 的这些穆斯林的打手们。
But meanwhile, Haridas Thakur, while being beaten by these guards, he was praying to the Lord, please, my Lord, forgive them, because they don't know what they are doing.
但是呢，当 Haridas Thakur 被鞭打的时候，他还在向主在祈祷着，他祈求着主能够原谅这些打他的人，因为他们并不知道他们在做什么。
So the Sudarshana Chakra went back.
然后呢 Sudarshan Chakra 就回去了。
So the Lord, in order for Haridas Thakur to not suffer, the Lord accept the beatings on his own back.
所以说呢，为了不让 Haridas Thakur 受苦，主呢就亲自用他自己的身体帮 Haridas Thakur 挨了这鞭笞。
Later on, many years later, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed his back and the marks of the beatings on his back that he accepts on behalf of Haridas Thakur.
在很多年之后，Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 他向别人展现了他背上的这些鞭痕。当时这些鞭痕就是他拜 Haridas Thakur 所受的。
So we should not tolerate blasphemy against the Lord or his devotees. This is very important.
所以说有这个非常重要的一点就是，当人们在亵渎、伤害主和主的奉献者的时候，我们是一定不能容忍的。
If Shukadeva Goswami telling Maharaj Parikshit in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, my dear king, if a person after hearing blasphemous propaganda against the Lord and his devotee does not go away from that place, he becomes bereft of the effect of all pious activities.
那这个呢是Shukadeva Goswami 在圣典博伽瓦坛的第10篇里对 Parikshit Maharaj 所说的话，这是第74章的第40节。他就讲到了，亲爱的君王啊，请谁听到有人诽谤亵渎至尊主和至尊主的奉献者却不走开，谁就将失去他所有的虔诚活动的功德。
But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Shikshastakam, he says the devotee should be more tolerant than the tree, more submissive than the grass. He should offer all honor to others, may not accept any honor for himself.
但是呢 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 在 Shikshastakam 也就是在八训规中就讲到了，他说奉献者应该比树还要宽容，比草还要谦卑，他应该把一切荣誉都归于其他的人，自己呢不要想着接受任何的荣誉。
So how should a person who is more tolerant than the tree become intolerant?
所以说呢，一个比树还要宽容的人，他怎么能够变得不能容忍呢？
We saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was very humble, very meek.
那我们可以看到，Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 他是非常谦恭，他是非常温顺的。
When he met the Mayavadis in Prayag, the Mayavadis, they saw him, he was sitting in a very humble place near the place where people wash their feet before going inside the temple. So they say, oh, my dear sir, why are you staying there? Please come and sit with us.
那么当时 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 在 Prayag 遇到这些 Mayavadi 的时候，他非常的谦卑，他就坐在大家这个沐浴他们的这个双足的这个地方，就坐在门口。那么这会儿呢 Mayavadi 的这些 Sannyasi 们就对他说：“哦，我亲爱的先生啊，你为什么要坐在这儿呢？您为什么不跟我们一起坐进来呢？”
He said, well, I'm not qualified to sit amongst you because I'm a sannyasi from the lowest order.
然后是 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 说呢，因为我没有资格和你们坐在一起，因为我是来自于最低阶层的 Sannyasi。
He was so humble.
所以呢，他是非常的谦卑的。
But when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu later on heard that Jagai Madai had offended Nityananda, oh, he became so intolerant.
但是呢，后来当 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 听到later on，但是后来当 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 听到这个加盖和马代在欺负主尼提亚南达的时候，哇，他一下子就变得完全不能容忍了。
He was ready to. He called for the Sudarshana Chakra to kill Madai and Jagai immediately.
他立刻呢就换来了 Sudarshan Chakra， 要杀死加盖和马代。
So this behavior of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very significant.
所以说呢，Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 的这个行为是非常的具有重大意义的。
It shows that a Vaishnava should be very tolerant, very meek in regard to his personal honor.
那也就是说呢，当一位 Vaishnava 在面对自己的荣誉的时候，他是要非常的谦恭温顺的。
But when there's a question of honor of Krishna or his devotees, he cannot tolerate any insult.
但是呢，当出现到Sri Krishna 以及 Sri Krishna 的奉献者的荣誉的问题的时候，那他可就不能够容忍了，他这个就不能够维持着自己谦卑的那种状态了。
So there are three ways of dealing with such insults.
有3种方式去应对这样的侮辱。
The first one, if someone is heard blaspheming by words, one should be so expert that he can defeat the opposing party by argument, convince him that he was wrong.
那么第一条就是当听到别人的亵渎的话语之后呢，那么这个人他应该用非常熟练的、非常雄辩的话语来击败对方，来说服对方他说的是错的。
Or if he's not able to defeat the opposing part, the next step is that he should not just stand there meekly, but should give up his own life.
但是如果要是他没有办法驳倒对方的话，那他可不能够公公顺顺的站在原地，他应该立刻要结束自己的生命。
Oh, that's a hard one, huh?
这个可真挺严厉的。
Or the third one, if he's unable to execute the above mentioned two processes, then one must leave the place and go away.
那还有这第3个方法，就如果要是前面那2条都做不到的话，那么当他遇到了别人对奉献者的亵渎的时候，那他就应该立刻离开现场。
Okay, let's forget the second one.
那我们现在把这第2条先忘了啊。
We just consider these two.
那我们只要考虑这第1条和第3条就可以了。
Either you convince the person that the person was wrong and he asks forgiveness, or if cannot convince him, just leave the place, go away.
或者呢，就是说服对方他错了，并且呢让对方道歉，然后请求原谅，或者呢 就离开现场。
This is the only two things that we should do.
那么这是唯一我们可以做的2件事。
We don't need to also engage ourselves in committing offenses and starting criticizing.
所以呢，我们不需要让自己也处于冒犯的这种状态，也开始去批评评判，我们不需要这样做。
If you cannot convince the other party by argument, then we just leave the place, go away, and do not need to talk about that.
如果我们要是不能够通过辩论的形式来驳倒对方的话，那我们要做的事情呢，就离开这个现场，然后就不要再提这件事情了。
If you don't follow at least one of these two ways, then we fall down from our position as a devotee.
如果我们要是不能够做到这2点中的其中1点的话，那也就意味着我们从我们是奉献者的这个位置上掉落下来了。
Either opposing with argument, try to convince the party that is wrong, or leave and stay away from that person.
我们或者呢是和对方进行辩驳，然后呢说服对方他是错的，然后请求这个人就是要这个人来道歉，得到原谅，或者呢我们就离开现场。
So this is concerning blasphemy of the devotees of the Lord.
那这个呢是关于亵渎主和主的奉献者的相关的事项。
Because this is the worst thing, the thing that affects the most our devotional growth.
因为这个呢是最影响我们的奉爱进步的一个事项了。
So far we have seen these 20 items of primary importance, those activities to accept, and later we saw the activities to reject.
那所以我们现在已经看了这20项最重要的原则。首先呢，我们先看了要接受的活动，后来我们又看了这20条，就是10条要拒绝的活动。
Now we're going to start looking at 44 additional items of service.
那我们现在要看另外44项附加的服务。
And amongst them, so we're going to study from 21 to 59 the items of sadhana.
那然后呢，我们现在要学习从21到第59条的关于 sadhana 的项目。
So these are also very important items.
所以呢，这些项目也都是非常重要的。
And we should try to follow them
所以
in
呢，
our practice.
所以我们应该努力在我们习练的时候呢，要遵循这些题目。
Because they are part of the behavior and the attitude of a devotee.
因为所有的这些呢，都是与一位奉献者的行为和态度相关的事项。
First one, tulasi beads.
那么第1条是提拉克和图拉西念珠，图拉西敬珠。
Okay, tulasi beads, most devotees, they wear them, there's not a difficulty.
那么大部分的奉献者呢，都会戴图拉西的珠子，所以这并不是一个难的事情。
Tilak in many places perhaps cannot have, at least in the face.
那这个提拉克呢，有很多地方是没有办法涂的，特别是不能够在脸上涂。
But does not mean you should not apply tilak in the body.
但这并不意味着我们就不在身体上涂提拉克了。
After every time, after taking baths, washing the whole body, we should apply tilak in 12 parts of the body.
那每次当我们沐浴之后呢，我们都应该在身体的12个位置涂上提拉克。
In the face, we just use water.
那在脸上呢，就在身体的12个位置用圣泥涂上提拉克，然后在脸上呢，只是用水来涂就好了。
And chant the mantra for each place.
然后每涂一个地方呢，都会念那个曼陀罗，相应的曼陀罗。
One of the things we are doing that is that we are invoking different names of the Lord to protect our bodies.
那其实我们在这么做的时候呢，我们就在呼唤着不同的主，通过呼唤主的名字来呼唤不同的主，来保护我们的身体。
And the other thing is that we are acknowledging that this body is not ours, belongs to the Lord, and is because the Lord is residing inside the body. These bodies are like temples of the Lord, so we decorate the temples, the temple of the Lord, with the marks of tilak.
那还有另外一个图提拉克的原因呢，也就意味着我们承认，这躯体并不属于我们的，这躯体是属于主的。那因为主呢，他居住在我们的内心之中，所以我们的这个身体呢，它就好像是一座庙一样。所以呢，我们需要用提拉克的这个标记来点缀这座庙。
And there is more.
还有更多。
You can read that.
谁头戴突拉西的珠链，把身体视为是 Vishnu 的神庙，在身上12个部位画上 Vishnu 的标志，并在额头画有 Vishnu Tilak， 谁就能够被认为是主 Vishnu 在这个世界的奉献者。他们的出现使这个世界得到了净化，他们无论在哪里，哪里就是如同瓦昆塔一般。
See how powerful is the tilak.
所以我们可以看到 tilak 是非常的有力量的。
And from the Padma Skanda Purana we read.
然后呢，从莲华往事书 Purana 中，我们就读到了 Yamaduta 阎罗王的小鬼儿永远不会走进用 tilak 装饰身体的人，全身写满至尊主圣名的人，以及脖项上戴着突拉西珠链的人。
As we said in the beginning, protect these bodies means the Yamadutas, they cannot take these bodies when they die if they have tilak.
所以就像刚才我们所说到的，当我们在涂提拉克的时候呢，它是对我们的身体的一个保护，也就意味着当我们死去的时候 ，Yamaduta 他不可能把我们从这个躯体里给拽走。
We should accept garlands.
我们应该接受花环。
Garlands offered to the Lord or offered to the spiritual master, we should always accept them.
那么，这个灵性导师和主戴过的花环，我们应该总是去接受这样的花环。
In some places, we see the devotees, they receive garland from their spiritual master or from the deities, and as soon as they land on their necks, immediately take out and put on somebody.
就我们在有些地方就可以看到，就是当人们戴上了从灵性导师那里传过来的花环，然后呢，他把这个花环戴到自己脖子上，戴了一下以后，立刻就把它给摘下来，然后就传给其他的人了。
It's nice that you also want to partake with other devotees, but first you should wear for a while.
那当然了，你希望能够和别人一起来分享，这是非常好的。想把它传给其他的人是很好的，但是呢，首先你得让它在你的身上要待一段时间才行。
From the Skanda Purana.
这个是 Skanda Purana 里面的话哈。主 Brahma 告诉 Narada， 亲爱的 Narada， 把给 Krishna 供奉过的花环戴在自己的脖项上，有助于去除所有的疾病和恶报，以及逐渐摆脱物质的污染。
You see why you should keep the garland for some time?
所以我们可以看到，为什么我们需要戴这个花环戴一段时间。
We should dance before the deity.
而且呢，我们应该在神像面前翩翩起舞。
So when there is kirtan in the temple, or even in our little temple, we do a little kirtan for our own personal deities. We should sing and dance.
就是当在神庙里面有 kirtan 的时候，或者是在我们自己家里的这个神坛前，在为神像 darshan 的时候，就大圣神像的时候，我们也应该是又歌又唱又跳的。
Srila Prabhupada was very fond of dancing.
舍利弗是非常喜欢跳舞的。
Because he knew that this this is very purifying, is very pleasing to the Lord.
因为他知道跳舞是非常的有净化力的，而且呢是非常取悦主的。
And read that.
在杜瓦尔卡马哈特米亚，中，主 Krishna 阐释了在神像面前跳舞的重要性。他说：“喜气洋洋的在我面前跳舞，并从中感受到奉爱的无边喜乐，同时显出狂喜征兆的人，其千百万年积累下来的种种恶报，都被烧成灰烬。”
So it's not an activity that we do because we like to dance and we like to celebrate. We do that for the purpose of pleasing the Lord.
这个就是我们跳舞啊，并不是由于我们喜欢跳，或者我们喜欢通过这个跳舞的这个方式来进行庆祝，而是因为主喜欢看我们跳舞，所以我们这么做呢，是为了要取悦主。
It's not just that we dance only when you feel joyful.
所以呢，并不是由于当我们感到非常快乐的时候才跳舞。
No, even if you are not very jubilant in that moment, we should dance, make an effort and dance because it's for the pleasure of the Lord.
不是这样的，哪怕在当时那会儿我们一点也不开心，但是我们也要努力的让自己在主面前跳舞，因为在主面前跳舞是很取悦主的活动。
Dancing is a very important expression of loving service to the Lord.
所以说呢，跳舞是向主所展现的充满了爱的表达方式。
Srila Prabhupada danced and made everybody dance around him.
那么 Srila Prabhupada 呢，他就会翩翩起舞，而且呢，他会让所有的人都在他的周围一起跳舞。
The same, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years before, he danced and everybody danced around him.
那么 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢也是如此，500年以前呢，他就会他就会跳舞，而且呢，他也会让所有的奉献者们也都会在他周围和他一起共。
Gaura Nataraj, the king of dancers.
他是 Gaura Nataraj， 他是舞王。
We should bow down in honor of the deities.
还有呢，就是为了要尊重神像，所以呢，我们要向神像顶拜。
Very important. When we enter the temple room, we bow down.
这是非常重要的。当我们进入到神像房的时候呢，我们一定要顶拜。
When you come in front of the spiritual master, we bow down.
那么，当我们来到灵性导师的面前的时候呢，我们也要顶拜。
If a servant of Srila Prabhupada would leave the room and would come immediately after because he forgot something, he had to offer obeisance to Prabhupada.
苏老师，OK.
Prabhupada's servant would leave the room to go to do something.
Okay, got it.
And then Prabhupada's room, and then it would come back immediately because he forgot something. He would offer obeisance to Prabhupada.
Yeah. 就是说，如果Srila Prabhupada的仆人他离开了Srila Prabhupada的房间，但是呢，他发现他忘了一些东西，他还得回来取。那么他就是在片刻之间，他又回到了Srila Prabhupada的房间。那这会儿呢，他依然还要先向Srila Prabhupada顶礼。
The same way, if you leave the temple room to do something and then immediately come back, you offer obeisance.
同样的，如果要是我们在神像房，然后呢我们出去了，然后这会儿我们觉得又要上神像房里面去取东西，再回来的时候呢，依然还是要顶拜。
It's very important. It reminds us that we are servants.
这个非常重要，因为这个顶拜呢是在提醒着我们，我们是仆人。
And we should honor Krishna all the time.
所以呢，我们应该时刻都要去敬拜Sri Krishna。
And read.
Yeah. Narada Purana 中说到，举行过盛大祭祀的人，无法与只是在至尊主面前恭恭敬敬顶拜他的人相比。Ashu, what is that? Could you explain that? 举行过盛大祭祀的人，
simply by offering obeisance to the Lord, it equals a performance of a great ritualistic sacrifice. Simply by offering obeisance, it holds the same result.
OK， 这意思呢，就是说，仅仅是顶拜主，它所产生的结果，与进行那些规范的仪式性活动所产生的这个结果是一样的。
Means the person who has executed many sacrifices will attain the result of his pious activities. But when the results of his pious activities are finished, he has to take birth again in this planet.
就是一个从事了很多的仪式性活动的人，那他呢是能够积攒很多的虔诚活动的积累的。但是呢，当他这个虔诚的这些积累全部都被耗尽之后呢，他还是会再次回到这个物质世界来的。
I think I explained wrong the meaning of the thing. That means that if a person, the result of a person who has performed a great ritualistic sacrifice cannot be compared with a person who has simply bowed down to the deities.
OK， 就不好意思，我们重新再说一遍啊。就刚才说，就是一个从事了很多的仪式性活动的人，他是不能够和一个在至尊主面前顶拜的人相比的。
Cannot be held as equals, means it's not the same result. Because if you perform great sacrifices, you obtain pious results and we can go to heaven, but eventually you're going to have to take birth again in this planet.
就是他们所得到的这个结果是不一样的。也就是说，去从事那些很多仪式性活动的人呢，他是能够得到很多的虔诚活动的积累。然后呢，他就会去到天堂的星宿，但是终将他还是再次的回到地球。
Whereas a person who has offered respects even once by bowing down before the deity will not come back to this world, but will go back to Krishna.
但是呢，对于那些哪怕只是顶拜了神像一次的人，就顶拜了这个。So the deity means the deity of Lord Krishna, right?
Yes.
对，就是但是对那些哪怕顶拜了 Sri Krishna 的神像仅仅一次的人，他都不会再回到这个物质世界了，他就会回到 Sri Krishna 的身边。
We should stand in order to receive the Lord. So it means when the curtains open in the altar, immediately we should stand up with folded hands to greet the Lord.
还有就是起身恭迎至尊主的意思，就是说，当这个神像的这个幕帘拉开之后呢，我们一定是站在那里，双手合十的迎接主的。
You greet the Lord with folded hands, and then you offer obeisances.
你是先双手合十的站在那里，先迎接主，然后呢，再倒下顶拜。
And we should follow the deity. When there is a procession, we should follow the deity.
还有呢，就是当有游行的时候，我们应该跟随着神像，我们应该跟随着神像的身后。
Like a Rath Yatra festival, or when they bring the small deities out of the temple to go outside, like in Mayapur, then we should follow. When the deities are out in procession, we immediately should join the procession and follow the deity. Should not go, now I am doing shopping, I have no time. No, immediately, the deity is in procession, we should immediately join the procession.
就比如说在玛雅普，就比如说这个弹车节的时候，还有就是在玛雅普的时候，他们带着这个小型的神像出来游行的时候，那我们如果是看到了在街上游行的神像，那我们立刻要做的事情呢，就是要跟随在神像的这个游行的队伍后面，要跟随而行，而不能因为我现在在购物，或者我现在这会儿没有时间，所以说呢，我就先不干这件事儿了，不能这样。
Read.
Sorry，阿叔，OK，Bhavishya Purana 中有一段声明说，见到神像经过时，在游行队伍的前面或后面跟随花车的人，即使出生在低等人家中，也一定会被提升到与至尊主 Vishnu 拥有同等财富的地位上。
We should go to the temple of the Lord.
所以呢，我们立刻要去到主的神庙里。
If you go to a holy place or a place where there is a temple, you immediately should go and visit the temple.
如果你要是去到了圣地，然后呢，在圣地里有主的神庙，那我们要做的事情呢，是要立刻要先去参拜主的神庙。
Or you should visit the place as a pilgrimage.
或者呢，我们应该去朝圣之地。Prana 往事，just showed on my screen. Prana 往事中说，努力去稳达文、Mathura 和 Dwarka 等圣地的人，实际上是备受赞扬的。这种旅行将使他们得以穿越物质存在的大沙漠。
Important to visit the holy places.
所以说呢，去朝拜圣地是非常重要的行为。
Because those places are so surcharged with devotion, we feel so inspired.
因为呢，就是这些圣地都完全充满着奉爱之情的。我们到了那里以后呢，是会感到深深的被鼓舞着的。
We should circumambulate the temple of the Lord.
然后呢，我们要绕拜主的神像，主的神庙。
Giving our right side to the temple, go around on the right side.
然后呢，我们要顺时针的绕，也就是靠我们的右边这样去绕主的神庙。
Most of the temples in India, they have facilities for circumambulation.
大部分在印度的这些神庙呢，他们都是有这样的设施，可以方便人们进行绕拜的。Higher Bhakti Sushdaya 中说到，绕拜主 Vishnu 神像的人可以因此而跳出物质世界生死轮回的圈子。
Our conditioned souls is circumambulating through many repeated births and death because of material existence.
那么这个受条件限制的灵魂呢，就是由于这个物质的存在，使得它始终都是在生死轮回中打着圈子。
And this can be counteracted simply by circumambulating the temple of the Lord.
而这些呢，就是这个在生死轮回中打圈的这个事情呢，仅仅可以通过绕拜主的神庙而被抵消掉。
Deity worship, we should perform deity worship.
然后呢，就是神像崇拜，我们应该进行神像崇拜。圣殿不教法坛第10篇第81章的第19世节中说，人只要崇拜 Krishna 就可以轻而获得天堂的财富、解脱、统治宇宙各星系的大权、物质世界里的万般财富以及瑜伽神通。
When there is opportunity, you should render service to the deity.
当我们有机会的时候呢，我们一定要为神像做服务。
Rendering worship, deity worship means to worship the deity. Rendering service means worshipping Krishna in a way, with the same opulence as a king is worshipped in his palace.
The king being worshipped in his palace.
Yes,
Okay.
in great opulence.
Yeah. 那么这个神像崇拜呢，也就意味着是崇拜神像。那么为神像做服务呢，那这个为神像做服务的方式呢，就应该像是国王在他的王宫中被崇拜那样，也就意味着这个神像呢是需要在非常富裕的状态下去被崇拜的。
Now, for instance, when the deities go outside, somebody has to hold an umbrella over the deities. They are carried on a palanquin.
比如说，当神像出门的时候，那么有人呢就要给他打上伞，然后呢要用轿子抬着神像出门。
You see, you carry a small Radha Madhava in Mayapur on the back of an elephant.
那比如说，在这个玛雅普，Radha Madhava 在出门的时候呢，就是用象驮着他们出门的。
And some devotees are fanning the Lord.
还有一些奉献者呢是为主扇扇。
And on the way, many devotees are offering flowers.
然后在这一路上呢，有很多奉献者都向主献上鲜花。
The girls, they used to make designs on the floor, very auspicious designs.
然后像这些姑娘们呢，她们也会在地上，画上非常吉祥的图案。
There is always a kirtan going on the front of the procession.
然后呢，在这个游行队伍的前面呢，总是有非常极乐的 kirtan 在进行着。
And everybody can participate in any of these services.
那么所有的人呢，都可以参加任何的这其中的一项服务。
Singing is a very, very, very powerful service to please the Lord.
然后呢，就是歌唱。那么歌唱呢，是一个对于主的非常的强而有力的服务的方式。
Sankirtan, particular Sankirtan, go out and chant in public.
特别是 Sankirtan 就是到外面去，在公众面前歌唱，唱诵主的圣名。
This is so powerful.
这是非常的有力量的。
So many people become affected by hearing or just by seeing a Sankirtana party.
那么有很多人呢，就是由于听到了Sankirtan 的这个团队所唱诵的 Sankirtan 而受到了影响，而成为了奉献者。
Chanting japa, very, very, very powerful item of devotional service.
还有呢，就是念诵 japa 也是奉爱服务的一项非常重要的服务方式。
It's different from Sankirtan. Japa is something that we chant softly, just mostly for ourselves, whereas in a kirtan, you chant as loud as possible.
那 japa 和 Sankirtan 呢是不一样的。japa 呢，它是我们自己轻声的念诵圣名，只是为了我们自己而念诵。那么 kirtan 就是在公众场合下的齐诵圣名的这个方式呢，大部分是要非常大声的、高声的唱诵的。
35 submission.
第35条是臣服。
Submission means a personal prayer where we express our sentiments to Krishna.
那么这臣服的意思呢，就是我们向 Sri Krishna 所献上的祷文，然后通过这样的祷文来向 Sri Krishna 来抒发我们对他的情感。
Is a little different from the next item that is offering prayers, notable prayers.
但是呢，这跟下一条还有点不太一样。下一条是向 Sri Krishna 献上祷文。
So here we repeat prayers already composed by great saintly devotees.
You mean the 36, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 这36条呢，就这个祷文，我们就是唱诵的这个祷文，已经是被先辈的 Acharya 们就是已经写好了的这个祷文了。
Like we repeat many prayers for offering the food, to sing before a lecture, to sing in kirtan, Mangalartik, and some Guru Puja to Srila Prabhupada. So these are reciting or singing prayers that are already composed.
那就比如说我们在荣耀食物之前，或者是我们在这个唱 kirtan 之前，还有讲课之前，还有这个 Guru Puja 的时候，就是所有我们都会吟诵吟唱的那些祷文，是已经被写好的祷文。
Whereas in submission, we offer a personal prayer where we express our feelings to the Lord, our sentiments.
但是呢，这个皈依就是这个投靠服从的这会儿呢，我们是向Sri Krishna 献上一个我们自己的心里话的祈祷，然后呢，向Sri Krishna 来抒发一下我们对他的情感。
So we can express ourselves to the Lord in 3 ways.
那所以呢，我们可以通过3种方式向Sri Krishna 来表达我们自己的心境。
Like expressing our great desire for spontaneous loving service.
比如说呢，我们向他来表达着我们强烈的愿望，想要为他做自发的奉爱服务。
Another way to express our insignificance before the Lord.
还有另外一个方式呢，是向主表达一下我们是多么的微不足道。
And another way is to express our desire to attain a particular spiritual perfection for the pleasure of the Lord.
然后另外一种方式呢，就是我们希望能够为了取悦主，而让自己达到一种所特定的完美的状态。
This is already a very advanced submission.
那这个呢，已经是非常高境界的服从了。
But to express our insignificance or expressing our desire for spontaneous loving service, yes, at our level we should express, pray using our own words, pray to the Lord in that way.
In order for us to, the first part is that.
The third prayer is for people who are very devotees, who are very advanced.
Right.
But expressing our desires for spontaneous loving service or expressing our insignificance, we can use our own words to pray to the Lord in this way.
OK。那刚才说的这3种方式哈，就是第3种，就是希望在某一种非常的这个精妙专业的这个境界去取悦主，这是对于已经非常崇高的奉献者，他向主献上的他的这个祈祷。那么我们现在这个境界呢，我们其实是可以向主祈祷着，我们希望能够为主做自发的奉爱服务，以及向主来抒发着我们是多么的微不足道。
We should partake of prasadam, yes. That's one we do very spontaneously.
那么下面这个呢，就是我们要荣耀 prasada， 那这的确是其中的一个很重要的奉爱服务，而且呢，这个奉爱服务呢，我们是自发的在做的。
We should accept charanamrita.
而且呢，我们也要接受 charanamrita。
This is the water that has bathed the Lord.
那这个merita 呢，是沐浴过主的莲花足的水。
We should smell incense or the flowers offered to the deity.
那我们要闻嗅献给主的鲜花和这个香的味道。
Sorry. We should touch the deity.
我们应该触碰主。
This is particularly if you do deity worship, then you should touch the body of the deity.
因为如果你要是做神像崇拜的话呢，那你就应该触碰神像。
But certainly we have to be very clean and purify our hands.
但是呢，当我们在触碰神像的时候呢，我们要让自己首先要非常的洁净，我们的手呢也要先经过净化。
We should be very happy to see the deity when the deity is there.
那么当神像在的时候呢，我们要非常开心的去见神像。
Because sometimes you may enter in a temple and you don't even see the deity, just look around.
因为有的时候，当我们进到神庙以后呢，我们可能根本就没有去见神像，而是这个环顾四周了。
Particularly if it's a simple temple in a home of a devotee, we should go in front of the deity. If they have a deity or photos, you should go and look the deity either in a deity form or in the photos. You should be very happy to see them.
特别有的时候，当我们来到奉献者的家里的时候呢，我们可能就不会重视在奉献者家里面所陈列的这个神像，不是这样的。那么当奉献者家里面有神坛，然后上面无论是摆着神像的照片还是神像的话，我们都应该去先去 darshan 参拜神像。
And you should observe Artik and other celebrations.
而且呢，我们也应该进行 arti 灯仪，或者是去从事一些其他的庆祝的活动。
Even children can participate in these celebrations.
那就连这个孩子们也可以进行这样的仪式的庆典。
This is a painting of Srila Prabhupada performing Ratha Yatra when he was a small boy.
这张图片展现的是当施拉帕帕还是一个小男孩的时候，他在举行弹车节。
Okay, we finish this list for today.
那我们今天就先讲到这儿。
So thank you very much.
非常感谢大家的聆听。
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Rupa Goswami ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. So if you have any questions, we can deal with them now. If you have any of these points that something was not clear, we can go back.
那现在如果大家有任何的问题的话呢，我们就可以请阿叔来解答了。如果要是刚才我们看到的某一些点，大家要不是特别清楚的话呢，我们现在也可以回去再重新的探讨一下。
Well, they were quite straightforward things, and most of those things devotees know. But sometimes they are not so conscious of the importance of these things.
那今天咱们看到的所有的这些信息呢，都是非常的清晰明了的，而且大部分的这些项目呢，奉献者也都是很熟悉的。但是我们这个存在的问题呢，就有的时候我们不是特别的有意识的去感知到这些。
So it's a reminder that we should do these things, thinking that this is very pleasing to the Lord.
那所以呢，今天对于我们来说呢，是一个提醒，就是我们应该做这些事情，并且与此同时呢，去想着这么做都是非常的取悦主的。
Means we should actually do these items of devotional service. Most of them we are given opportunity to do. We should do and should do with the proper reverence, the proper etiquette.
那因为我们在做这个活动，那然后我们有这个机会来从事这些活动，但是呢，当我们在从事这些活动，在做这些行为的时候呢，我们是应该怀着恰当的礼仪以及恰当的这种敬畏心情来做的。
Like for instance, submission. This is very important. Sometimes we think that is not so important. The Lord knows what is in my heart. I don't need to say anything. No, we are performing devotional service, and the rules and regulation. We should do this. You should not do that. But we should desire. Remember, we should not be stiffed in that position of mechanical, just doing what we should do and not do what we should not do. We should desire to develop a spontaneous attraction for devotional service.
就比如说像这个投靠服从这一项哈，那有的时候呢，其实我们就忽略了，我们就没有向主去献上我们自己的心里话的这样的祷文，因为我们觉得反正主他都知道我心里怎么想的，他都明白。但其实呢，我们在进行奉爱服务的时候，我们是应该是就是 祈求着能够让自己去进行为主做自发的那种奉爱服务的，而不是为了这么做而去这么做。
And if you do spontaneously, if you really acquire that spontaneity, then all these items will do with very great care, very great devotion, and you benefit so much from any of these items of devotion.
因为如果我们要是真的非常自发自愿的去做服务的话，那么也就使得我们在从事所有的这些项目的时候，我们都会在觉知中小心翼翼的去做。那这样呢，就会使得所有的这些都会在满怀着奉爱之情的这种心境下去做出来。
We'll experience so much pleasure in smelling a flower, thinking that that flower was touching the lotus feet of the Lord.
那比如说呢，我们在闻嗅献给主的这个花儿的时候呢，我们就会非常享受的去闻这个花儿，然后这会儿呢，我们还会想着，因为我们一边想着这朵花儿它是被主的莲花足所触碰过的。
When we accept Charanamrita in the temple, we really meditate, oh, this is the water that washed the lotus feet of the Lord. Wow, what a mercy.
那么在庙里面，当我们去荣耀Charanamrita 的时候呢，我们脑子里在想着，哇，我们真的是这真的是太仁慈了，因为我现在所喝的这个就这个蜜露啊，它是给主的莲花足沐浴过的水，实在是太仁慈了。
We take prasada, but we don't just take prasada like we eat any food. We always, we meditate that this is the food offered to the Lord.
然后呢，当我们在荣耀 Prasada 的时候呢，我们不是在吃任何一个普通的食物，而我们在冥想着我们现在所吃的这个食物是向主供奉过的食物。
When you perform deity worship, we really should be there thinking that we are offering these items, great items that are very pleasing to the Lord, and we offer them with care, great care, great devotion.
那么当我们在向主献上灯仪的时候，那这会儿我们是要非常小心翼翼的想着把这些这个很取悦主的这些物品向主献上的。那这里面是满怀着爱和小心翼翼的一种活动。
When there is a kirtan, we should not miss the opportunity to dance in a kirtan.
那么当我们在 kirtan 中的时候呢，我们不要错过在 kirtan 中跳舞的机会。
So we can do this is a reminder that we should do these activities as an act of devotion, not just do because yes, Nectar of Devotion say I have to do, so I do. No, do with devotion, with spontaneity.
所以呢，就当我们在做所有的这些活动的时候呢，我们不应该想着我之所以做，是因为奉爱的甘露里面让我去做这些事情。不是的，我们在做这些事情的时候，心态应该是怀着对主的自发的爱的这样的心境，满怀着奉爱之情去做所有这些事情的。
Okay, there are some questions.
Yeah, the question from 慧霞妈记下的顶拜阿叔，顶拜翻译，顶拜您。我是慧霞，我没有圣泥，身体上可不可以用水来涂提拉克呢？慧霞妈的记下 that Ashu, please accept my humble obeisances to you. I don't have the chandam, so if it's okay for me, just to use the water to apply the tilak on my body.
Yes, and if you have holy water, sprinkle a few drops on a normal water, and keep the water. Preferably keep the water in a copper or silver vessel.
我再说了2遍。
是这样的啊，就是可以的，就是你可以把这个，如果你要是有恒河水的话，就你把这个恒河水放在一个银器的。
Just put a few drops in a normal water.
Yeah, 就是你把这个就是恒河水放在这个普通的这个水里面，就放一点点，放几滴就好了。然后呢，把这个水放在一个小银器的一个银盒子里面。
It's better to keep it either in copper or silver if you have.
就或者是铜器或者是银器。
And then use this water, yes, to put in your hands and apply the different places. The most important thing is that you repeat the mantra that is the name of the Lord for each part of the body that you apply the mantra, the tilak.
然后呢，你就把这个水的这个提拉克呢，就抹在身上的各个不同的部位。那其实最重要的就是当你在身上的不同的位置在抹这个提拉克的时候，你要默念，就是你要念出这个不同的这个位置的那个主的那个名字。
Next question.
Sumugi Radha Maji 的问题。She paid her humble obeisances and she said that 请问在跳舞的时候我们应该注意些什么？比方说 Mataji 和爬布如何跳舞？该在一起还是分开？谁在前面，谁在后面？是着装上有何要求？舞姿应该是怎样的？So Mugirada Maji's question is that what kind of things we need to pay attention while we are dancing? For example, are there any differences of dancing between Matajis and Prabhus? And are they mixed together to dance, or they need to dance separately? Who is in the front and who in the back? Who stand in the back? And what kind of attire for them to wear? And what kind of steps for them to dance?
Well, yes, we being on the front, being on the back, that's not a big deal. It's not a big problem.
就是在前边在后边这事儿呢，不是什么大事儿。
In the temple, Srila Prabhupada would allow the Matajis and the boys stay on the front, but each one on each side.
那么Srila Prabhupada 呢，他允许 Mataji 和就是这个男孩和女孩们都站在前面，但是呢，他们不要站在一边，就是一个站在左边，一个站在右边。
Yes, we don't dance boys and girls together.
那男女孩是不在一起混着跳舞的。
The girls dance with the girls, the boy dance with the boys.
姑娘和姑娘们一起跳舞，小伙子和小伙子们一起跳舞。
The boys usually they have a more wild dancing, they jump and those things. The girls may not dance in that way, they dance in a more gracious way because ladies are more keen in dancing in a very more beautiful way in one sense.
这个男孩在跳舞的时候呢，有的时候是比较疯狂、比较狂野的，他们可能会蹦得比较高。但是女孩在跳舞的时候呢，通常不会这么高，因为女孩在跳舞的时候呢，会更加的优雅一些，说呢，就是会跳得更美一些。
But we don't be too exuberant in front of, particularly in front of the deities or when you go in Harinam. You don't be too exuberant. Nice gestures, nice dancing, elegant, but not be exuberant to show oneself. Not so much in that way.
但是呢，就是在我们在跳舞的时候呢，就不要让自己处在一种得意忘形的去展示自己的那个状态。就是我们在跳舞的时候呢，可以是一种非常优雅的、非常美的、非常典雅的形式来展现，但是呢，不能够要展现自己。
We have to be careful to not make our dancing look sensual.
而且我们要非常的小心，我们千万不能够让我们的舞姿看起来充满了色欲。
And the girls, they should never expose any parts of their bodies.
而且姑娘们呢，当她们在跳舞的时候，也不可以暴露她们身体的任何一个部分。
Should cover most of their bodies.
就是大部分的这个身体都应该是被遮起来的。
And the boys also.
男孩也是如此。
The bodies are not supposed to be exposed.
因为这个男孩的这个身体也不应该暴露着。
So if you are in a holy place, cover nicely with the sari.
所以如果你要是在圣地的话呢，一定要用纱丽很好的把自己遮起来。
Don't show your bellies.
不要把这个就是不要露自己的那个肚子。
See, when you see Radharani dress in the temple, she's totally covered. You can see her neck and head, her ends, and you cannot even see her lotus feet.
那么如果我们要在庙里面看到 Srimati Radharani 的话呢，就可以看到她的这个服饰是把它包裹得很严的。那我们唯一能够看到她的呢，是她的脸、她的脖子和她的双手。我们看不到，连她的莲花足都看不见。
So it means that's the way we should dress, because she's the most chaste woman.
那也就意味着这是我们应该着装的方式，因为 Srimati Radharani 她是最贞洁的女子。
Don't expose. Now a tendency is to expose the bellies, and it's not nice.
那所以呢，我们不要暴露我们的这个身体。那现在的这个时尚呢，是要把这个肚子给撂出来，但这不好。
Even sometimes you see many photos in internet that show Srimati Radharani showing the belly. This is not appropriate painting.
但是有的时候我们在互联网上呢，也会看到 Sri Radha 的一些图片。这个图片呢是展现了 Sri Radha 的肚腹的，那这个不是一个很恰当的画作。
If you go to the temples, particularly in traditional temples or in our temple Mayapur or Vrindavan, you don't see the belly of Srimati Radharani or the gopis.
那比如说，如果我们要是去到这个这个传统的这个印度的这个庙里面，或者是去到玛雅普和文达文的这个我们的这个庙里面，我们是不会看到 Srimati Radharani 她是露出她的肚腹的样子的。
So when you dance in front of the deity, dance very, very joyfully, very graciously, but not sensually, not exuberantly.
所以说呢，当我们在神像面前在跳舞的时候呢，我们要非常的快乐的，然后呢非常优雅的跳舞，但是呢我们不要得意忘形的显示自己的那样的去跳，然后呢也不要显示出色欲。
Don't forget, we are dancing for Krishna's pleasure.
所以呢我们一定要记得，我们在跳舞的时候是为了取悦 Krishna，
not to show ourselves.
我们在跳舞的时候并不是为了要展示我们自己。
We are not dancing for our pleasure. We are dancing for the pleasure of the deities.
那我们在跳舞的时候呢，并不是为了要让自己快乐才跳舞的，而是为了要让神像开心，所以才会跳。
The same goes with the singing. We sing for the pleasure of the Lord, not for performance.
同样呢，就是这个唱歌也是如此。那我们在唱歌的时候呢，是为了让主开心才唱，而并不是因为要表演，而不是为了要让这个歌唱者开心，所以才唱。
Next question.
小玉的问题：阿叔，当没有恒河水时，用普通的矿泉水，需要净化后再使用吗？阿叔，if we don't have the Ganges water, if we just use the common mineral water, so do we need to purify it before we use it?
I don't know myself. I forgot the mantra, but there is a mantra where we touch the tip of one of the fingers in the water and invoke the Yamuna, the Ganga, and the other holy rivers to come by the chanting of that mantra, and that water becomes sanctified by the chanting of the mantra. You have to find maybe with the, what is that lady that Mataji would do?
Labanga
Latika, yeah. She might know. She might know because she learned from Sis, so she might know the mantra, where we invoke the way we do, which finger we touch the water without touching the nail, and we invoke a simple way, by that mantra we're invoking the holy rivers to come and lay down in that water, so that water becomes sacred, become pure.
阿叔说呢，阿叔他自己不知道，就他自己想不起来那个慢慢扯哈。但是呢，我们没准可以去请教一下拉邦格拉提克老师，就是有这么一个曼陀罗，就是把自己的手指的某一个手指的指尖给触到这个水里面，然后呢念诵这个曼陀罗，就能够呼唤雅穆纳河呀，还有恒河呀这些圣河 流淌到我们所净化的这个水里面，然后这样的话呢，就使这个水也圣化了。但是在这个手指在触碰的时候呢，千万要注意，不要把手指甲碰到这个水里面。那这是其实是一个挺简单的一个方式，但是呢，需要请教一下拉邦格拉提克老师。
Until you don't know that, and just use a clean water and apply clean water.
那然后呢，就是在这个在还没有知道怎么净化之前呢，就先用干净的水就好了。And chant Hare Krishna.
And chant Hare Krishna.
然后呢，念诵 Hare Krishna.
And chant the mantras that we have to chant while applying the tilak.
对，然后呢，就是还有就是要念诵，就是我们在每一个身体的每一个地方，在涂提拉克的时候要念的那个地方的那个 mantra。
Okay, next one.
Sumuki Radhamaji 的问题，请问阿叔对于神像和灵性导师用过的花环 Mahaprasadam 该如何保存使用呢？如果无法妥善保存，比如容易潮湿腐烂，是否可以送去山野河流中？可以保存的，我们经常纹绣，对我们有何好处？有什么要注意的吗？ For the Mahaprasadam garland from the deity or from the spiritual master, what is the right way to save them? If some of the flowers is not that easy to be saved because it's easy for them to go rotten or go damp or something like that. So if it's okay for us to put those flowers in the river inside of the mountain, and for those flowers for those flowers available to save, if we smell them from time to time, will that do any good to us? And are there anything we need to pay attention on for this?
Yes, if they get stale, they start decomposing. Then we should put in a river or at the foot of a tree, at the root of a tree.
就如果是这个花它要是腐烂了的话呢，那我们就应该把它给撒到河里面，或者是把它放到这个树底下埋了。
And otherwise, you can try to dry them and keep in small bags, and they always have some fragrance.
或者呢，就是把它们给放在一个小的这个小包包里面，然后呢，把它这样给收起来，然后这些花呢，总是会有一些香味的。
Especially if it's a garland that you receive from your spiritual master or a garland that you receive from very special deity in the holy Dham. Wow, that garland you certainly don't want to throw away. You dry it, find a way to dry it and put in a small bag and preserve it.
但是如果要是我们从灵性导师那儿得到这个花环，或者是在神庙里面的，就是某一个很特别的神庙的神像那里得到这个花环的话，那我们肯定是不想把这个花儿给扔了的。所以说呢，我们就一定要想方设法的把这个花环给晒干，干了之后呢，把它给保存起来。
Yes, you should smell. Smell is always nice. That fragrance is always nice because it's offered flowers, so is very purifying to the heart.
而且呢，就是关于纹绣这个存起来的这个花儿，它是对我们非常有益的，而且呢，它是很净化我们的内心的。
We should never be tired of smelling them.
所以呢，我们永远都不要怎么说呢？就是我们就是总要去闻它们，不要觉得闻它是一件多余的事儿。
Then
she said that 我用透明的漂亮的纱巾布料口袋装起来送给请书的奉献者，他们很喜欢。And she said that she used some pretty gauze material. She used some pretty gauze material to make some bag and then she put this dry flowers in those pretty bags, gauze bags, then use it as a gift to give it to those whoever buy the books from her. And
oh, that's nice. That's
they
nice.
like it very much. They like it
That's
very much.
nice. If they appreciate, it's very nice. Yeah, certainly.
对，就如果他们要喜欢的话，是非常好的。
Yeah, yeah, it's nice.
嗯
Okay.
Yeah, actually, there was no questions from here, but I have a question for somebody else. However, has nothing to do with your lecture of today. Is it okay for me to ask that?
Okay. You pay
Okay.
a fee. You pay a fee afterwards.
Okay, no problem. 那就是因为现在没有问题了哈，我先就是帮一位奉献者请教阿叔一个问题，但是跟今天这个课没有太大的关系。阿叔的 question is that this devotee is asking who actually is the one to take us back to the spiritual world? Is our Diksha Guru or the Shiksha Guru, all them together? And if the Diksha Guru passed away, but we are still alive, then it's still likely for the Diksha Guru to take us back to the spiritual world.
Srila Prabhupada is the
one. Please allow me to translate. OK， 那今天这个问题是这样的，是哪一位灵性导师把我们带回灵性世界呢？是 Diksha Guru 我们的启迪灵性导师，还是我们的训示灵性导师，还是训示灵性导师和启迪灵性导师一起？如果要是启迪灵性导师已经不在世了，可我们现在还在世，那么启迪灵性导师他是怎么把我们给带回去的呢？
They take us to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada bring us to Krishna.
是这样的。You mean Diksha Guru and the Shiksha Guru?
Yes.
Take us. OK， 是这样的，就是我们的启迪灵性导师和训示灵性导师把我们给带到 Srila Prabhupada 的莲花足旁，然后呢是由 Srila Prabhupada 把我们带回到灵性世界的。
Because Srila Prabhupada is an eternal associate of Krishna.
因为 Srila Prabhupada 他是主 Krishna 的永恒的同游。
And is our most preeminent Shiksha Guru.
而且呢，这个 Srila Prabhupada 他是我们最主要的 Shiksha Guru。
So our gurus help us to achieve Srila Prabhupada lotus feet, Srila Prabhupada's mercy.
那所以呢，我们的 Guru 呢是帮助我们得到 Srila Prabhupada，就帮助我们来到 Srila Prabhupada 那里，然后呢，让我们得到 Srila Prabhupada 的仁慈。
And Srila Prabhupada will take us to the spiritual world.
然后呢 ，Srila Prabhupada 会把我们带到灵性世界去的。
Even if we are not 100% purified.
就即便是我们还没有达到100%的仁慈。
Even if we are only 70% purified.
就即便是我们只有70%的这个净化。
Srila Prabhupada promised to guarantee for whatever you miss.
然后呢，就是即便是我们还没有得到100%的净化，只有70%的净化，那么Srila Prabhupada他承诺过我们，他会补上我们没有被净化的那一部分。
Okay.
Yes, Ashu, but we always been told that our relationship with our guru, I think here it means about our Diksha Guru's relationships are the eternal relationship, and the Diksha Guru will always come back to the disciple to take the disciple back if the disciple hasn't been taken back yet. So could you elaborate this a little bit, how to understand this?
Translate.
那然后呢，就是因为我们被告知，就是我们和我们的启迪灵性导师的关系是永恒的关系。那么这个启迪灵性导师呢，他对我们是始终要非常的负责。就是如果要是我们还没有回去的话，他始终会回来再找我们，再把我们带回去的。那我就请阿叔再为我们解释一下这个是怎么去理解。
Depends if the spirit of master is already a liberated soul, has already attained perfection.
那这个取决于就是这位灵性导师他是不是已经是一位解脱了的灵魂，他是不是已经达到了完美。
Then yes, we'll find in the spiritual world it will come or send his representative to rescue us in the next life. It does not need to come personally. Otherwise, he would come all the time because there are always disciples who stay behind. No, is the original diction Shiksha is Krishna. So Krishna will make arrangement. We are, the others are just our gurus are representatives of Krishna. The original guru is Krishna. So Krishna will always make arrangement that his representatives will come to take us, either the same one we had in this lifetime or other form, but is Krishna's representative.
OK， 那然后呢，就是如果是这个就是这位咕噜他已经是一位解脱的灵魂的话，那么我们在灵性世界的时候会看到他，然后呢，他也会派他的这个代表，然后再来找这个他的门徒。但是刚才阿叔说呢，就是咕噜他不会自己每次都自己亲自来，他会找他的这个代表来的。那么这个Sri Krishna 他其实是我们最原初的 guru。其实 Sri Krishna 他是做出所有这一切的安排，然后呢，他会派他的代表来接所有的这个受条件限制的灵魂的。否则的话，就是这个，要不然的话，那个 guru 他就不断的自己要亲自来了，因为总是会有一些门徒还没有回去的。但是那个 guru 他是不需要这么做的，不需要亲自来的。派代表就好了。
Thank you very much for your questions. Thank you for being there.
阿叔Sumukiramaji still have a question.
Yes.
But Sumukiramaji 您的问题是什么
Is there?
Okay. She said that 请问阿叔，那比如他们 Krishna Goswami 已经离开了，他会派他的代表，比如他的门徒来接没走的门徒，是吗？ So she's asking, for example, like Tamo Krishna Goswami Maharaj has already left, so he will send his representative, for example, his disciples to come to take the disciples to be left behind.
Could be. Krishna make the arrangement.
但有可能是这样的，是 Krishna 做出这样的安排。
Krishna make the arrangement.
是 Krishna 做出这样的安排。
Ultimately, we are all taken by Srila Prabhupada. Remember that.
但是我们要记住的一点就是，终极来说，我们所有的人最终其实还是被 Srila Prabhupada 带回去的。
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Rupa Goswami ki jai, Shri Gonitai ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari 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 Bo.
Ashu ki jai.